Hey, what's up, Giants fan? Welcome to the one and only Giants Brawl podcast. I'm Mike Trainer. I'm with Jules and John this week again. We're talking Senior Bowl. We're talking Super Bowl. Last week we talked about toilet bowls. Man, we got all the bowls going on. Other bowls that people venture on. You know what I'm talking about. The Mary Janes,
Super
those kind
Bowl?
of bowls.
All different types of bowls.
We got everything covered, man. Yeah, Super Bowl week, fellas, man. I'm tired already for this week that started, man. This fucking brutal winter storm, man. Dropped
Oof.
like fucking 30 inches of snow, man. I've been shoveling all fucking day. I'm tired.
Listen, it was crazy because that thing started off as saying like, oh, 4 to 8 inches. And then it was like 2 hours later, all of a sudden it was like 10 to 12. And then before you knew it, they were like 18 to 22. And I think it ended up dropping like 16, 17. But damn, that shit came out of nowhere.
It's like, what are we in Buffalo?
Yeah, seriously. Like, I was like, holy cow, man. It's like, I love it because it seems like lately New York winters seem to start later and later and later. I remember like as a kid, like December, January, there was already snow and all this kind of shit. And like now you almost get like fooled where you're like, oh, we're out of fucking January. We're good. We're gonna have an easy winter. Bring on the spring, baby. This is good. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's like fucking 2 feet of snow. And you're like, what the hell just happened to my life?
We're gonna get hit hard in like April, right? We'll fucking see the Easter Bunny and fucking another mounds of snow.
Yeah, you know how to have Groundhog's Day, which today is, right? If instead of the Easter Bunny, see if he casts a shadow to see if spring's coming or not.
Little piece of shit. I'll set the rat trap. Fucking snatch his ass, keep him out from running away.
Man, I heard that it came up that I guess he didn't see a shadow, so we have 6 weeks left of winter. I saw the 6 weeks part. But Jules, I gotta step out. I gotta thank you. Last week you made a recommendation to us and the listeners about that show Warrior on Cinemax. Fucking dope show. If you like martial arts, if you like that kind of like vibe of a show, that show is dope. Thank you, Jules. And thank you to my neighbor for letting me borrow the snowblower.
And as as the season gets closer, I'll make a few more recommendations, but I'm not gonna do it every week. But listen, guys, check it out. It was a good one. I'm glad you got to check it out, so I enjoyed it.
I gotta fucking check that show out, man. Maybe
Mike,
awesome. maybe next storm I'll fucking binge watch it or pay some little kid to fucking shovel my driveway. Some high school kid came by my house, like he wanted to charge me like $200 to do the fucking driveway, the steps. I'm like
200.
I'm like, and first of all, he sounded like Mickey Mouse when he talked. He's like, "You want me to do your driveway? Haha!" Like I'm like, get your Mickey Mouse crackhead out of here, man. $200, like that's like hooker money and shit, like right there, like, and you'll need it with your fucking Mickey Mouse voice. I'm like, get the fuck off my steps, man. $200.
Honestly, I don't think that was a high school kid doing that. I think that was just like some like 35-year-old grown man and shit, like trying to pretend.
How big is your fucking driveway? Want to charge you $200?
He was gonna ask to come in your house for something, go to the bathroom with a glass of water, and rob that shit.
I
didn't know that Mike lived at Wayne Manor.
I know, like the fuck, man. I'm not fucking Batman and shit. Like I got like 10 steps and like a long driveway. It fit like 2 cars. It's not that much. I did that all by myself, and now I got to go out and shovel again. There's another couple inches on the ground, but whatever.
Seriously.
So what we talk about this week, man? What we want to start, Jules?
I guess we'll start with the Senior Bowl. Look, it ended up being a little bit disappointing overall as a game wise, because I guess I didn't really read into it as much as I thought they were just trying to overhype everything leading into the game, meaning that there was so many things being posted, so many standouts throughout the week of practice that actually ended up making it out to be more of a sort of combine / Senior Bowl, where a lot of these guys just showed up to kind of do like the OTAs and the practice part of the Senior Bowl, and some of them didn't even play. And if they did, they just played for a couple of snaps. It was more about just getting it done for the practice and showing it off, which I get. There were a lot of scouts there. With everything going on with COVID, they really don't know what they're going to do for the NFL Combine. So it ended up kind of just being more of that. So if you didn't really read behind the scenes, the game would have been a total disappointment. So I do have to apologize for saying that. I mean, there were some bright stars that did stand out. A couple of guys we'll get into in a few minutes and mention in a little more detail. But, overall, the game itself was kind of boring. Like I think I almost like fell asleep halfway through it at one point. Like, I mean, Kellen Mond won the MVP, and oh man, even with that, yes, there was, One guy that did stand out was Dez Fitzpatrick out of Louisville, 6'2", 210-pound wide receiver. He's not projected going in the first round. He had 6 for 90. Listen, that's a guy to keep an eye on. You know, he could fall that second, third round, depending where the Giants go. And you know what? He could be that kind of, later round, second day type addition type wide receiver. There's other guys like Nico Collins out of Michigan. He's another one that keep an eye on as far as wide receivers are concerned that are more sort of lined up to be like those second day type of guys. There's still Tony from Florida that they definitely have to keep an eye on. Kadarius, who had a great practice week, but then they didn't really do anything in the game, which to me made no sense. But that's kind of how it has. So, like I said, overall, I was kind of a little disappointed in the Senior Bowl.
Dude, I turned on The Office, man. Like halfway through that game, I'm like, this shit's boring, man. I watched like the first half, and the only player that caught my eye during the game was actually a defender. It was a cornerback. This guy, the Minnesota quarterback, Benjamin St. Justice. Actually, his last name is Juste, Juste. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm calling him St. Justice. He sounds like a guy that probably is on Jules' show, The Warrior. like this dude, like he showed me something, man. He was going on the slant routes. He's breaking those up, breaking the deep ball. The guy was like all over the place. So like he definitely like caught like your eye if you actually paid attention to that game. He transferred from Michigan in like 2019, where Jim Harbaugh actually tried to get him to medically retire from football because I guess like an injury or whatever. I got to look that up. I'll let you know in a little bit, but I think he has a chance, man, to maybe, get drafted like 6th, 7th round. And, Giants are always looking at cornerbacks, so never know.
This is true. That definitely that is definitely something of need is that CB2. So, these are some names to start listening out to. And of course, it's kind of crazy though, because honestly, I don't know what to expect with this off season. Like it's not your typical off season where you're going to have like everything set up with combine and all the other, like, I don't know exactly what to expect moving forward. And that's going to like kind of have a little bit of question marks. And in addition to that, there was quite a few big names that are projected to go in this first round that didn't even play in the 2020 season in college. And, we're going to go through that list and I don't know how NFL teams are going to judge that. That's going to be interesting to see because keep in mind, this is going to be the first time in history that they have to pick players that didn't even play the season before, at least in the modern era, that they have to now make a decision on based off their 2019 game and some tryouts, if we even get to that, where that's it. That's all you're going to have to go on. And you're going to have to see if you're going to risk a first round pick on some of these big name players.
You're going to see a lot of misses in the draft, that's for sure. You're going to see teams who are very good at scouting, finding very, very good value later in the first round, second round, third round, like that. And then you're going to see teams that are going to take these big gambles on players that flashed, maybe for a handful of games in 2019, sat out 2020, and they're trying to find the best possible players. So you're going to see a lot of gambling. I bet you that. Should definitely be an interesting offseason, though.
This is what Gettleman, deserves his money for, man. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. And we sit there and talk about it, So let him ride with him.
I mean, it's crazy. Like honestly, like everybody keeps bringing it up. You see it all over social media. Even just talks amongst friends. It's like, well, what are we gonna do with the 11th pick? What are the Giants gonna do? Who we taking? And honestly, I don't know. I'm honest. In all honesty, unless like certain guys just end up falling, right? And there are some names that could end up in that particular situation. But if these names don't fall, you're kind of taking a risk no matter where you pick this year. I mean, because for the most part, you see that the first 5 picks are kind of solidified, right? Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. And then, of course, you hear Penei Sewell, the offensive tackle, supposed to be the best tackle. But don't forget, Sewell didn't play in 2020. So here's another guy that's being projected as a top 5 pick, and he's that big offensive tackle. And the guy didn't even play this past season, And I'm not saying it's going to affect him one way or another. I mean, he could still be a stud, but it's still still a year out of game time action. And now all of a sudden you can just be thrusted into having to take like a left tackle role where we saw an Andrew Thomas who didn't even have OTAs in preseason, how much it affected him and how it took him almost halfway through the season before he got better. So, you got to keep in mind with some of these things. You have another big name is getting thrown around that could go in that top 5 is Jamar Chase. I mean, he was a beast in 2019 for LSU.
Yep.
But yet he didn't play this past year, right? And listen, maybe not having Burrow there, he might not have had the same numbers that he did the year prior, but still, it's another year out of action. I mean, he's a big guy, a big frame, but I don't know how some of these GMs are going to feel like. I mean, could you imagine Miami in that 3rd spot? Obviously saying they don't trade out, and they bank on a Jamar Chase. I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But that's a big risk to be taken with that 3rd pick.
Well, Jules, like this is why I'm thinking like you're gonna see a lot more quarterbacks taken in the 1st round, like real quick, like 1 through 7, 1 through 8. I think you might see like 5 guys go because, like you guys were saying, like these guys, you really don't you have that much tape on them. Like you going back maybe a couple years for some of them. It was definitely a weird, college season. So I don't know how much people are going to take that into account, these GMs. That's why I think you're going to see, like, obviously you're going to see Trevor Lawrence go number 1. That's no doubt. But then guys like Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, you're going to see it, even Mac Jones, maybe, like, you could see them start going. And then the Giants, we might have, Trey Lance, probably another one that's going to go early. And the Giants are going to be in good position because, we don't need a quarterback, at least not this year. And we'll see what happens. And, we'll see, like, they're going to have their pick of the litter pretty much at different positions.
Bro, every year there's like 35 guys that aren't going to make it out of the top 10. It's just what happens. Everybody looks at it differently, who values which team more. And with the way that the quarterback market is shaping up this coming offseason, I think I saw something on Twitter or Facebook the other day that they're thinking up to 18 different teams can be going into 2021 with the new quarterback. I don't remember in my life seeing that kind of turnover at the quarterback position. That's pretty wild. So with this free agency, that whole month before the draft is going to be super, super interesting. The NFL doesn't really have much of an off season to begin with, and I think this year is going to be very, very interesting, especially for us.
I have to agree with you there. I mean, yeah, they did. It just seems like, I mean, literally, as we were getting ready to come on this show, Bleacher Report shouted out something that the Raiders might have interest in Deshaun Watson, right? Like just to see like some more quarterback talk. And of course, we're going to get into more details of that because there was a big quarterback trade. But it's just crazy how, like, last year there was the uncertainty if there would be a season. And now it feels like this year there's this uncertainty of like, who's actually a stud, who's not, who's going to be a good fit. I mean, when you mentioned a guy like Micah Parsons, who we did kind of hear, like there was rumors about his character, there was rumors about different things that he was doing off the field. And it kind of turned out, because LeVar Arrington even went to bat for him, that literally he had gotten into a fight with one of the other defenders, physical altercation. And they basically tried to keep it in-house and kept it under wrap, right? And that was the big thing. Franklin didn't want it to get out. He didn't want to damage the reputation of the school and all that kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, if that's what it is, it's a petty little fight between two guys that are in college together. It's like, dude, get over that shit. Like, you gotta make a big deal about it. Like,
true.
Like, come on, man. They're trying to hurt this guy's draft stock. But literally, they're saying, I mean, there's people projecting Parsons as being the number 3 best player coming out of this draft. But again, with him not playing last year, I mean, damn, it's kind of hard to trust that kind of stock. I mean, listen, he's a name that's getting thrown around with Pitts a lot that could follow us at 11.
I don't like guys taking years off from football and then jumping back in. I mean, that's just like, injury waiting to happen for most of these guys. But like, listen, I don't know. I'd probably stay away from Micah, but I'm starting to really get sold on that Kyle Pitts dude. Like that tight end, he's a major mismatch for these guys, man. He jumps up and gets the ball like he leaps, and we need a tight end to go out, jump up and catch balls because Evan Ingram, that's not his strong suit.
Bro, he's Evan Ingram with balls. He's everything you wanted Evan Ingram to be, but he's actually got a fucking set of nuts on him that he can manscape. He goes, makes contested catches. He plays with heart, passion. I don't think there would be many Giants fans in this fan base that would be disappointed if that was what we ended up taking. You trade
around for maybe like a second-day pick or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that you can get that. I mean, it was a gift, I guess, in a sense that he was, nominated to the Pro Bowl, and I guess maybe the NFL does. value Evan Ingram's skill set more so than the fans do in New York, which is very possible because he didn't really get many fan votes. He was voted in by the players and coaches.
Right.
That the Pro Bowl is divvied up. I think it's 33, 33, 33 or something like that. So that he has respect in the league. Maybe you can. Maybe you draft Pitts. Trade him for a third or a fourth. Even if you get a fourth, Darnay Holmes was a fourth-round pick last year. Dude's our starting cornerback for the next 2-3 years.
Hey, we traded away our third-round pick and fifth, so if we could get one of those back, from the Leonard Williams trade, I'll be happy.
I mean, It's going to all depend. I mean, look, it's going to be hard to trade back. I mean, look, I get it. There's the talk of the big three receivers, right? And apparently, like, people have these three receivers going all up and down the draft, right? There's people that have all three of them going before the 10th pick, before the Cowboys even go, right? And of course, the big three: Devontae Smith, Waddle, and Jamar Chase. We were just talking about, right? And they all have issues, right? There's something with each of them, right? Obviously we go back and forth about Devontae Smith being 6'1", 175. I happen to defend that. I think the kid's been ridiculous the past 2 seasons. People forget he put up solid numbers 2 years ago when he had an all-star cast of Judy and Ruggs on that team, and he was supposed to be the third option. He had just as good of numbers. And then this year, when he was the man, he had an outstanding college year that they had to compare to Desmond Howard way back when. Like, that's the only fair comparison to it. But again, granted, he's a little, I guess, skinny, if you would. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, if the guy is strong, he's strong, right? If he's quick, he's quick. If he could run routes and catch the football, that's what he's paid to do. The dude's not there to win a bodybuilding contest or try to pull some car along the fucking street with shit on his shoulders. It ain't a strong man competition. You know what I'm trying to say? Get over that shit, bro. You know what I mean? And then as far as Waddle's concerned, the guy's short, man. Every fucking receiver on the Giants is short. That's literally the problem there. We have a bunch of short receivers with the exception of Evan Ingram, and then it's Shepard at or not even Shepard or 6'1", but dude, it's bad, man.
I don't need guys.
Just add another dude that's short again. Cool. We're like the receivers of midgets. Let's do it, baby.
I also don't need guys picking up fucking boulders on ESPN at 2 a.m. being our fucking next Giant pick. But
Devontae Smith is skinny though, man. That dude is dangerously small for an NFL player, and it's alarming that he didn't weigh in, didn't take his measurements while he was at the Senior Bowl.
He's very fragile.
There's only really one reason why he wouldn't do that is because the weight would alarm people. If the weight was where you'd want it to be for a receiver, he would have absolutely weighed in because then it would have proven and shut that narrative up. Now all he did is add gasoline to the fire. But all that being said, if the Giants feel like he's an NFL player and can, bring good fortunes to the team, then I'll buy his fucking jersey on April 28th.
And get him that we trust, man. I tell you, another guy. I want to get your guys' opinion on this. Another guy kind of caught my eye too, man, for our first round pick is Patrick Surtain.
Absolutely,
dude. Can you imagine teaming him up with Bradbury on the other side? Then that's kind of tempting, right? I know we need help on offense. But man, that'd be tough to turn down.
I'm gonna say, don't forget 2 years ago he played with McKinney.
Right.
They literally played in the same. They played in the same defensive backfield. So McKinney's been a huge advocate for him. I mean, if here's the thing with that, right? Really quickly, is that Khalid Farley is the other big cornerback name that's being tossed around there. Should be taken in the top 10. And Farley's another one of these big names that didn't play in 2020. So how's that going to affect things? I don't know. Does that give guys like Surtain and Smith the upper hand over the Chases that played that did, versus guys that played that didn't play, right? I don't know. And that's what's going to be sort of interesting. And that's what's kind of keeping this whole, what do the Giants do? Who do they get at 11 kind of thing like out in the open, right? To me, personally, I still say it. I don't give a shit how small he is. I don't care if he didn't fucking weigh in or not. If Devontae Smith is sitting there at 11, the Giants would be fucking crazy not to take him.
Yeah.
You've heard it here, and I will stand by that shit. Right?
Yeah, if he's available, I want him too, man. No doubt.
You guys know what the receiver, Devontae Smith, right?
Yeah, it's either him or Pitts for me.
Yeah, you had originally asked about Patrick Surtain, I think is how you say his name.
Yeah.
It would be pretty dope because if those skills can translate to the NFL, you would have one of the top safety and cornerback tandems. You would have the single best secondary in the NFL.
That'd be
And if
fun.
you have,
And it would be.
it would be. It's pretty tempting, but I think with the position that the team is in right now, with Daniel Jones going into his third year, Saquon being able to come back, I think it's the window for true compete for a championship. I know it's going to sound crazy, but opens this year. And I don't think that you want to mess around and not be able to flesh out and see what you got with Jones. I think you got to do like what you guys are saying.
Well,
Pitts, Devontae Smith, whatever.
Yeah, but what if in free agency we sign like a wide receiver or maybe 2 wide receivers, or then we get a wide receiver like Jules said in day 2. So we draft one, get one, and then we go with this defensive guy and just build our defense sick. Because imagine that secondary competing against like Kansas City's offense or Tampa Bay's offense. We're going to need to stop them in order to go to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Right. So, I mean, God, man, that's so tempting for me to go corner right there. That would be sick. Nobody be able to pass on us.
Yeah, if you can get, I don't know why the name Nico Collins just sticks out in my head. I just feel like he's going to end up falling to us for a second-round pick, and we'll end up drafting him second round. If we can go Surtain in the first round, and then him in the second, and I don't know if he's going to step on the field in September and all of a sudden be a wide receiver 1. Probably not likely, but if you have Saquon back, then that's more than enough to have at least adequate, if not great offense as it is, and then you can kind of develop in the role over the course of the year.
And don't forget, you're talking about a big body guy too, which is what we're missing, right? He's 6'4", like 220. He's tall, he's big. Like it's not like he's a small receiver, Nico. So it's a big addition in that sense, where you'll still have the guys that can run and spread the field. You have underneath routes, and then you have this guy that can maybe a little bit more of a threat in that red zone for us, when you can kind of just toss the ball up in the corner. Hopefully he can jump up and go get it, right? He doesn't necessarily have to be, a true number 1 receiver, but if the dude could have like 8 or 10 touchdowns or something crazy like that, all right, here we go. What I mean? What
if we draft like five guys this draft that actually compete and play like we had this past draft? I mean, and they're all on offense. I mean, who fuck knows, man? There's so many options we're gonna have, man. I'm looking forward to it because wide receiver is very deep.
Seriously, that's what I think. Like I know it. Like in a weird way this year, I think it's better that we're picking 11th, right? Because the whole knock with that whole thing with the Eagles, like, oh yeah, we want the 6th pick. Well, who the fuck you getting with the 6th pick? Like it's not like there's this huge standout that like guys, you guys lost, you got this player now. Like it don't mean shit. Like in a weird way, you almost want to sit back so that like there are certain teams that are reaching, there are certain teams that are dictating who's being taken in those first few picks. That all right, now it's like, well, here's some of the guys we were talking about: the Parsons, the Surtains, the Pitts, the this. Maybe one of those big 3 receivers, except for Waddle, but we know why I don't like him. But all that said,
You're right.
Maybe we could kind of just sit back and like something just falls on our lap at 11.
It's like fantasy football. It's like fantasy football, Juice. When you pick like 10 or 11, you get a top running back and a top wide receiver, like almost back to back.
Right. It's funny you mentioned fantasy football because it's almost like you're sitting there and when a guy just fucks up, right? Because like half the draft room is like, all right, so this guy's got all of a sudden he picks like some fucking oddball out of nowhere. You're like, wait, what did he just do?
Right. You're like, yes.
What did he just take a kick or some shit? The first round was got retarded. Like it's the same shit. I almost feel like that's kind of like the tone for what this year could be, where it's like there's going to be people like these scratching their heads where they're like, holy shit, why'd they take this guy? Or this team did this, or a team trades out of nowhere, all that kind of crazy shit. I wish like something just gets overlooked with either these players who opted out, these players that have some like baggage, if you would, behind their name, or just people being undersized. Like who the hell knows, right? That's why I think it's going to be fun this upcoming draft.
I wish we could go to the draft, man. I wish it was like live again. Like I would have got like us tickets from work. We could have went and did a podcast from the draft. I was in the last draft, live draft in Nashville, and that was a party and a half, man. It was so much fun and I had such a great time that I was looking at houses like to move to Nashville and get the fuck out of New York. Yeah, it was that dope, man.
Bro, they definitely charge less money to shovel your driveway in Nashville.
Yeah, for sure.
There are women in bikinis that shovel your driveway in Nashville, from what I hear, wearing like fucking cowboy hats and shit, and playing guitar.
Listen, Nashville's crazy because like that's awesome. Believe it or not, that's like a top 3 destination for bachelor and bachelorette parties now.
Yeah, I seen a bachelorette party. Like they're all puking off. They had to ride like pedal this like weird bike where it's like 15 of them on, like half on one side, half on the other.
And
They're
it's a bar.
pedaling and shit, and they're like puking on the side of the road. It was fucking.
Well, it's like a bar in the middle, ain't it?
Yeah, bar in the
Yeah,
middle.
it's like a fucking bar, dude. They're drinking and fucking riding a bike. What do you think's gonna happen?
It was like noon, man, and they're fucking hammered, man. Yeah, it was what a great place, man. I recommend everybody just move there one day.
Yeah, if you haven't visited, I would definitely recommend going down for a visit for sure.
No doubt.
Yeah, for real. But you know what, guys? We touched on free agency a little bit, and I'm just gonna make a bold statement. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna make this bold statement now. And listen, between now and the middle of March, this could obviously change, right? Because we're gonna know who opts in, who gets franchise tagged, all that kind of nonsense that's gonna occur between now and then. But I don't know, something in my stomach starting to tell me that the Giants might not go after one of those big receivers. We might not save it. Yes, we have space. We can. Basically we could cut guys like Nate Solder and Golden Tate and David Mayo and Toloviolo and guys like that. And that'll free up like 20 something $million for the Giants, give or take, about 25, 27, somewhere in that ballpark. But, with that said, yeah, we still that gives us money, but we definitely want to sign Leonard Williams. I want to re-sign him. I mean, we didn't give up that draft pick, have him have this breakout year to just kind of let him walk in free agency. That would just be a total waste in my mind. Granted, we could. There are certain franchise tags we could reapply on him again if we wanted to go that route. That is a possibility. But I kind of want to free up some of that money to re-sign him. And then I don't know. There's this Curtis Samuels of the world that we could probably get at a discount if we really wanted to bring somebody in. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I think between guys that are just going to sometimes either get franchise tagged or stay with their team or end up going to a more team that's like ready to win now type of play. I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel, man. I think we're going to stay inactive as far as the wide receiver market's concerned.
You're right about the franchise tag, though, man. It kind of sucks when we're in the market to get somebody. The franchise tag sucks. You want these guys out there so you can fucking bid on them and try to get them to come over here. Man, I tell you, like obviously, Jules, I want Godwin. Or I want Galladay. I want the Giants to get one of these guys. I don't think it's going to be A-Rob. Like, even though I would love him, I think he'll get he'll get the most money out there. He'll sign with somebody else. I don't think it'll be with the Giants. Maybe we do go kind of a lower tier, like a Samuel. He's got the connection with Dave. We'll see. We'll see. But I still think we get one of those guys.
So what Gettleman has said, and a lot of other GMs say the same thing, is they use the free agency to fill the holes of the team, and then that way you can go into the draft and not be kind of pigeonholed into a specific position, especially, if you're not picking right at the very top of the draft, second pick, fourth pick, whatever.
That's why I say
yeah. So I think that they're probably going to go into free agency and look to address a couple of those needs. You probably see them sign, C+, B- cornerback, like outside cornerback. I think you'll see them sign maybe a B-, B+ receiver. I would like to see them go get just like an Allen Robinson or whoever they think is going to kind of mature into. Because like a lot of these guys, their fourth year into the league, their rookie deals are expiring, and that's why they're going to be on the free agent market. So they are entering their prime now. So there are guys out there that you may not think is worthy of bringing in as a wide receiver one, that all of a sudden, because now he's in his fifth year. He's playing. He's got a great offensive, a great running game to running in front of him with Saquon Barkley. All of a sudden, he turns into that wide receiver one that complements, Shep and Ingram if you see her and whatever else the deal is.
Listen, I'm going to say it again, and I don't know why. I'm just, let's make some bold predictions, right? And I'll probably fall on my face with some of these predictions for sure. But don't forget, we get Pettis, who's at the end of his rookie deal, who's still on the team. We're going to have him for one more year. Technically, he's our tallest receiver right now. He showed a little bit of flash in the Dallas game. He showed some plays. I mean, give him a full off season to be with the Giants in a contract year where this guy's like basically playing for his career. That brings shit out of people. You know what I mean? If he could stay healthy, because, that's kind of what hit him a little bit in San Francisco was the injury bug. You never know. I'm not saying this dude's going to step in and have, 90 catches for 1,600 yards and 8 touchdowns, some crazy numbers like that. But, if he could be serviceable enough where you have what you have already as far as the core receivers, and then you bring in some of these rookies, whether or not we take them in that first or second round pick, it all kind of comes together where it's like, why are we going to go spend that money in free agency where, we keep Leonard Williams, and then maybe, like John mentioned, you got to look to see who's available again. But maybe we're able to sign a cornerback too, or we draft one of those corner twos, with the second round pick, first round pick, depending on how everything falls out and falls into play. I don't know. That's what's going to be remain to be seen in the next couple of weeks of coming for sure.
Well, I know, Jules, we talked about, we texted in a group text we're in about, like, maybe the Giants, like, cut, like, a Kevin Zeitler. Like,
Right.
maybe I'm starting to rethink that, because he played good on the line. Maybe they kind of, like, I think he's got, like you said, like, 1 year left on his deal, right? So maybe they kind of, like, give him a signing bonus, lessen the cap hit this year. Maybe, give him another 2-year deal or something like that. That'll free up some money, and you get to keep him. I mean, he could do that with a couple of guys if they really decide to, and that could free up money to go after like a big wide out. We'll have the money,
Oh, absolutely. No, but there's so much talk about cutting Zeitler, cut him. And then it's what? You're going to just have this like huge, just young, inexperienced offensive line. It's a little bit much to ask.
Makes you nervous.
Zeitler for 1 more year, especially when knowing that if Barkley has a big year, you're going to have to give him some sort of contract. If Jones is starting to have a big year, you might have to give him some sort of contract. That's where next year you're going to want to cut Zeitler. Now you have some of these younger guys that have been on the field for like 2 or 3 years that can now kind of step into that role. And now our offensive line has got a few years of experience under their belt. You don't want to just cut ties with all your top linemen like that. I mean, listen, I totally understand Nate Solder. I totally understand Golden Tate. Like, I would be shocked if those guys are with us after June 1st, right? You have to keep that kind of stuff in mind. But you're right. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe they restructure something with Zeitler, and they're like, "Look, you're going to be the man that kind of keeps this young line together." I don't know. It's a possibility as well.
He's not old, bro. He's only 30. For an offensive lineman, he's right in his prime. You know what I mean? He's not. He's not. He's not like Nate Solder. Where, I think they're the same age, but where Nate Solder, you can already see is a kind of depreciably lesser talent than he was when he was younger. That's not the case with Kevin Zeitler. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't try to see if they could extend them for a year. Obviously in year 2, it would be less of a cap hit, it'd be a little bit less expendable. So if Shane Lemieux or Hernandez end up kind of, maturing and growing into that role, and they could be the starting guard tandem, then at 2022 you can cut them, and then go from there. But I think on a per snap basis, we had to have the youngest line in the NFL. We had rookie starting at left guard pretty much the entire season, left tackle the entire season. Our center is a second or third year player, but this is the first time he ever started, and it was the first time he ever started at the position. They were rotating in Shane Lemieux. They were rotating in Matt Pert for a huge amount of reps. We had to have on a per snap basis, like I said, one of the youngest lines. So you want to have somebody like Kevin Zeitler that is a reliable fire hydrant out there that can go to work when you need him to.
Listen, and there's no saying that at 11, one of these big offensive linemen that are being hyped up don't fall, because a couple of them opted out themselves, and who knows? I mean, I know it's not attractive. I know nobody wants to hear it. It would kind of be boring if we did go after another offensive lineman, but shit, if you get another top offensive lineman because they fell a little bit in the draft and you pick them out 11, what's wrong with that? You start filling in some skill players after that, especially if you want to spend some money in free agency.
I mean,
we watched.
Go ahead, John.
Sorry, my guys. We watched the last 5-6 years of Eli Manning's career ruined and wasted because we neglected the offensive line. If they feel at 11, or if they trade down to 13, 14, whatever it is, and they feel like the best player available is another offensive tackle that could play opposite Thomas or a starting guard, you fucking go run to the podium and you get that guy if you think he's worth the value, for sure.
Well, speaking of offensive linemen,
just Saquon and Jones. Sorry.
Speaking of offensive linemen, like we signed, I don't know if you guys realize this. We signed the center a couple days ago, Jonathan Harrison, formerly with the Jets, a 1 year, $2 million deal. So what does that mean for a guy like Nick Gates? Do they want him to move to guard, to take over maybe a Kevin Zeitler's position if they cut him or trade him, and then you put Harrison in there at center? I don't really understand this move so much about the Giants. Or is it depth?
Precautionary type move, because you had a guy that played every snap. I mean, are you really going to expect him to play every snap again for another full season? I hope so, right? Like, I hope he gets better, right? Like that's the anticipation there. But come on, reality speaks differently, right? If you can put another veteran player there, who's to say that this guy doesn't play some guard or just just be able to mix in and out in that offensive line. I mean, who knows? Maybe I know there's people that are very objective to the fact of rotating in offensive linemen in and out, in and out, in and out. But if you rotate in and out receivers, you rotate in and out running backs, you rotate out all these places, you rotate out defensive linemen. Why the hell can you not rotate out offensive linemen? Like, who the hell wrote this down when that's like something that's like that doesn't exist, shouldn't exist, especially in today's NFL?
You rotate basketball players. I'm like, well, what the fuck? It doesn't make a difference. Just, I mean, they're refreshed. You know, they're going against other guys that are probably tired. So maybe we have an advantage. Like, who the hell knows, man? But yo, Kevin Zeitler, if they do cut him, we save $12 million.
I mean, listen, if
that's a lot of money.
With some of those other names, you're looking at freeing up close to about $40.5 million.
That's a lot.
I mean, it does get ridiculous if that's the way you sort of want to go with things. But then, you know what? Listen, I'll be honest, Giant fans do not expect us to win, you know, to win all these games. Like, you know, you're literally looking to continue to build. And then it's like one more year of building where, yeah, maybe an 8-8 type of record is realistic, but that's what we're looking to do, because now we're saying that we're like one or two more players away and we want one more rebuilding season so that when 2022 comes rolling around, shit, we put in one or two pieces and we're firing away for that NFC Championship game.
Yeah, if we sign a wide receiver and draft picks, yeah, we're playing for we're going 10-6 at least.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, bro. This team is right now,
with it. I don't know.
I think what you're saying now, as far as like next year, you know, one or two pieces away, I think that's where we are right this moment. I think that, dude, you got you're making a face, but at the same time, you got to think about it. What if Saquon did not get hurt? You have to think he is the biggest part of this team, bar none. Even Daniel Jones. Yeah. He is the biggest part of this team, and he wasn't there. And we were competitive in every single game for the first 8 weeks, and we started winning games, and then Daniel Jones got hurt. What if Saquon was there? You don't think that we would have won at least 2 or 3 more games? I think it'd be foolish to think that we wouldn't have. No, I think everything would have worked better. So if that's the case, that means that this season we were a roster that should have been 8 or 9 wins. So I think this offseason is how you get to a double-digit win team. It's just we're going to make the jump because we were hindered by some bad luck and, you know, Saquon's injury. I think it's not, you know, I think like where you said, you know, a piece or two away, you got a wide receiver 1. If Julian Love or you get a cornerback 2 in here and you can retain Dalvin and Leonard Williams, bro, you go to war with that team. I think you're good to go.
I don't know if either of you guys saw that Visa commercial with Saquon Barkley, the most recent one where he's going out to that place. I think it's like a jerk chicken type spot out in Patterson or something like that. And he was talking about how he's like giving back to small businesses and it's for like Visa. It's almost like that Visa's like kind of reaching with like one last like kind of big like commercial for him and shit. I'm like, man, dude, if this is like the last one that I see of him because he fucks up this season and that's the end of him, I'll be so depressed. I'm gonna remember like that jerk chicken place in Patterson.
He's gonna be working there.
It was almost depressing. It was like, oh, even Saquon Barkley gives back to small businesses. I'm like, man.
It would suck.
That's not all it is.
It would suck to see Barkley working there in like 2 years because he couldn't go back from his knee injury. Yeah, Bark, I'll take the jerky chicken again. You bet it. I think he's gonna come back. Come on, man.
I don't know, man. Like I said, it was just depressing. I'm like, man, dude, you get hurt again.
Yeah, he's gonna.
This could pretty much be your last commercial for Visa.
Dude, he'll be back, man. He's gonna have like 2,000 total yards next year, man. Barkley's gonna be back. We're gonna be fucking running the ball. We're gonna be passing the ball to our new receivers. We're gonna be all right, man.
Well, it was funny because I saw something where they were comparing Najee Harris's like quads to AJ Dillon's, and I was like, the only thing I could retweet, I was like, well, how do they compare to Saquon, bro? I was like, fuck AJ Dillon, I don't give a shit about that. It's Saquon, right? Like, and then I see him doing like the slow walk into the fucking jerk chicken spot for Visa. I'm like, damn, dude. I don't know, man. It just hit home the other night when I saw that commercial.
It's that goldfish shit that I was talking about, bro. It's that people forgot about what Saquon is. They're talking about quads, and there's not even a nod to Saquon Barkley. The dude
listening or somebody tells him about the podcast tonight, be like, yo, man, you need to come back, obviously stay healthy, and just fucking tear shit the fuck up in 2021. That's it. Here's the coming out party, man. You know, you don't gotta fucking like break records. You don't gotta fucking, rush for 2,100 yards, anything crazy like that. But like, dude, want definitely all purpose over 2,000 and over 10 touchdowns, something crazy like that for sure.
I think that touchdown number is way too low.
No, if you would have asked Trainer last year, he was supposed to get like 4,000 all-purpose yards and rush for like 25 touchdowns. So I don't want to get too crazy.
You got hurt though. You got hurt. If let's say we had, I don't know, instead of taking him, we traded down and we got whatever the best. We got DK Metcalf, just god level fucking receiver like that. If he got hurt week 2, didn't play the rest of the season, everybody was saying the exact same shit. If there was that, it doesn't mean anything.
No, that's
Dude's gonna come back.
That's a great point. I was watching something earlier today, and they were talking about fantasy football, right? Like the way too early 2021 rankings for fantasy football and shit. And like I saw on there that they had literally Mike Thomas, who was like the greatest fucking receiver to walk on the field last year, right? Like that's where they were hyping him up going into the 2020 season, and they got the dude like 13th. They had Mike Thomas where they were talking like, all right, CMC, Barkley, maybe, and then you got to take Mike Thomas. Like, and the dude goes from being that conversation to like now he's not even in the top fucking 12. Like, I understand Drew Brees is like 50-50, but even when Brees wasn't there and they had Teddy fucking Bridgewater, that's why he got the contract he did with Carolina. He was still fucking Mike Thomas, dude. Like, it's like Deshaun Watson, like Deshaun Watson, I said, because we'll talk about him in a minute. But like, these receivers, when they're fucking good, they're good. They only get even better when they're with like a quarterback that's like a B quarterback or something like that. When you put them with the A+ quarterbacks, that's when you have these like monster type seasons. Like the dude's still gonna catch 90 fucking passes to 100 passes with like a Teddy Bridgewater or some shit, right? Like I don't give a fuck. Right now, Jameis Winston ends up being that starter for the Saints. You're telling me because he did throw the ball to Godwin and Mike Evans a year ago, he can't fucking throw 100 passes to Mike Thomas? Come on, that's stupid.
That's why in fantasy football, when you draft a dope wide receiver like that, you always try to get the quarterback to match it up. You know what I mean? That's all it is. It's just like in real life, man. You need both of it to happen. Like the Giants had with Eli and Plaxico, where they fucking dominated. I mean, they dominated the league. And the next year after we won the Super Bowl, we were tearing shit up before fucking Plax. You know what he did? Fuck Bloomberg. But that's what happens.
Well, no, like I said, like you look at a guy like DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, he didn't always have Deshaun Watson there throwing the fuck ball. There was that one year I think Houston went through like 4 different quarterbacks, and the dude still caught like 130 passes for the season. I mean, come on, dude. Yeah. Like these guys are that fucking good. Like that's just who they are.
Yeah, D-Hop's on a whole nother level, man.
No, dude, for real. What you say Mike Thomas isn't after one season because he got hurt this year? And that's the reality. The whole reason why I brought it up to begin with is like they're writing Saquon off. I mean, there's guys that are already going like, all right, this guy gets hurt all the time. We don't need him. We wasted a first round. Fuck him. Like, damn, dude, relax. Right? Like the dude was in conversations with CMC, who what? Now, if you're a Carolina fan, fuck CMC, he's done. Like, give me a break, bro. Yeah. Like, guys get injured, they come back. Like, people forget with all this hype going on about Deshaun Watson this. Oh my God, the guy fucking blew out his right knee, if I'm mistaken, in college, and then blew out his left knee in the NFL. Right? And the dude was down, like blowing out both fucking knees in his first couple of seasons, between his senior year and his first 2 years in the NFL. And now all of a sudden he's gone, right? This is the quarterback that we want to give up, Barkley and Daniel Jones, first round picks. We can't re-sign Dalvin Tomlinson or Leonard Williams, but fuck it, it's worth it because we're going to bring it to Deshaun Watson. Like, bro, slow the fuck down. Stop living in the moment.
They're gonna have us. They're gonna have us three playing the defensive line for the Giants if they fucking trade.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, don't no way in hell the Giants would do that, man. But I'm interested to see what team gives up a lot for him, man. Because you're paying your quarterback that kind of money, or you're decreasing your cap. Like you're gonna have no room to fucking fill a team, man. Fuck Watson. I don't even think he's that great.
Listen, it's gonna remain to be seen. But like that market is now wide open. Based off of what happened a couple of days ago with the whole Goff for Stafford trade. I mean, dude, like, look, Matty Stafford was good in fucking Georgia. He had some really good seasons with the Lions. But let's face it, the dude's never fucking won anything. And granted, you can say the team around him and whatnot, but he's never won anything. Goff was a Super Bowl quarterback. He's got multiple playoff wins. And like, this dude gets traded for like fucking nothing. Like I don't know what the fuck's going on, man.
That's an upgrade for the Rams. I'll tell you that. Stafford's the real deal. You're gonna see that team possibly, fight the Giants in the playoffs. The Rams and the Giants. I'm telling you, the Rams just took it up a notch because Goff turnover prone, not making the big throws. Yeah, he got to the Super Bowl and what did he do? Like 3 fucking points. That dude, he's not that great. He's gonna have a lot of weapons in Detroit if he stays there. But I tell you, man, the Rams, I like the way they're doing. They're playing for now. They're playing to fucking win, and they got the defense to do it. Now they're gonna have a passing game. You know, you watch out for that team, man.
I mean,
Yeah, they put. Yeah, Jules, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I hope you're right. So, listen, Stafford's not a spring chicken. He's not old, but he's also not a spring chicken. So it's gonna be interesting. He could be, yes, if he stays healthy over 16 games. Yeah, I could see him being an upgrade there. I could see Robert Woods and Cup and all those guys having big games. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But man, they gave up 2 first-round picks and a 3rd-round pick and a quarterback to get Stafford on the Rams. Damn, dude.
Yeah,
Watson ain't that great, but like if Stafford got that kind of capital, I think Houston's asking for like a share of some team's franchise or some shit. But like, all right, we're now like the 1.5% owner of this franchise. Yeah. Oh yeah, I now own like 1.5% of Miami because I traded Deshaun Watson. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Bro, Giants Twitter talking about this shit. Like literally, I never had a problem with Deshaun Watson. I fucking hate that guy now, just because of these Giants fans. Just like everybody knows that it's not a possibility in any way, shape, or form. Even if the Giants said, you know what, fuck it, we're in, we want to do it, there isn't a possibility that we can get him. The teams that, if he is going to be traded, that they're going to look to trade him to, have far more to offer in the way of draft capital, like the Jets, like the Dolphins, teams like that. That's where they're going to trade him to. The Giants would have to give up so much. It literally makes you nauseous to even finish the sentence. If you've been on Twitter, if you've been on Twitter and you've been talking about how we should really go get Deshaun Watson, I want you to keep listening to the podcast, but I don't know that you really need to watch the games because I don't think you know what you're watching anyways.
They're living in a fantasy world. That's what they're watching.
Well, that's it, bro. Fantasy football has ruined football.
I was going to say, it is like fantasy football. It's like when you got like that one big stud player that's just going bananas, like CMC from last year, but that's all you got, right? The rest of your team is terrible, and you're like looking at a guy who's got like a pretty good team, and he's like, "Yo, I'll trade you CMC for like all 6 of your really good players."
Yeah.
And you get CMC, bro. The guy's like stupid enough to do it because he thinks he's got like backups that are still good. And he's like, sure, let's do it. And all of a sudden, the guy that just got the 6 players is now in the fucking playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that shit. It don't make no sense. The Giants aren't financially, they're not, personnel-wise in the right position to make a move like that to go get Watson. They're just not. They're not there. It's not on the cards. It's just not set up properly. Like, there's just too many things that are in play. And honestly, Houston could get so much more from other teams. So what the fuck would they even want to deal with us? Like, keep that shit in mind. Like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, that just ends it there. Like, looking at it from Houston's perspective, if we're that quick to trade Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, what the fuck makes you think Houston wants them?
Right. The Jets are more inclined to fucking make that trade. The Jets have the capital.
The Jets
they have the Sam Darnold they could trade, So they have that right. Like, I'm just glad though that Washington Redskins, because they wanted Stafford there. I'm glad they didn't get them because that's the weakest link on that Redskin team. I don't want to see them have any kind of offense because they got wide receivers, they got a decent run game, and they got a defense. So keep those quarterbacks out of Washington, man.
Well, I saw something today, and again, obviously, it's just clickbait and joking around. And people like throwing out crazy ideas, but let's look at it from our perspective too. Would you do it? They threw out something where they said, "Would you do a first-round pick this year and next, and Chase Young for Deshaun Watson straight up?" That's interesting. They still have a fucking solid ass line, bro. Right? You know what I mean? And like, whoa, I don't know. I mean, shit.
That's tempting. That's real tempting.
That makes more sense, right? Now you're talking like something that could actually happen, or at least would make sense if it happened.
Because you're gonna have to pay fucking Chase Young in a couple of years anyway. So you might as well just pay Deshaun, man. If they get him, man, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, that's a reality. Because like I said, Chase Young was huge for them, but they still have a fucking really good D line. They'll still have a 2nd-round pick where they could go after another guy.
That's
shit.
crazy,
I would, look, now Houston's getting one of the best premier young fucking pass rushers in the game and a 1st-round pick. Like, that shit works. It does work, but I mean, I doubt it would ever happen, but you never know.
Is there anyone who's nervous and has that kind of is a little bit skeptical or just nervous about that NBA player mentality of I don't like what's going on here. I want out. I don't know that you can build your franchise around a quarterback that has that gene in him. You know what I mean? That's that position is something that you want to put somebody there, and for a decade, there's never another name in that QB1 slot in your depth chart. That's what you're looking for. And this guy's already demonstrated that he's doesn't have that in him where he's loyal to his team, he's loyal to his teammates, loyal to the city that he plays for. Like, I get it, there's shit going on there, this and that, but at the same time, bro, like they just gave you like $160 million, something like that. And now you want out. Like,
that's what I said.
I don't want to.
That's what I said to Jules before we got on the air. I'm like, why sign the fucking contract then? Don't sign the deal if you want out.
Right.
The same thing with Odell, bro. That NBA player mentality. Like, I don't know that. I don't know if in a sport like football, I don't know that you can have that mentality and have the locker room that you're looking to have to go and win a championship. Because, bro, it's not Madden. It's not fantasy football. There is a camaraderie aspect to football that wins championships. We are Giants fans. We should know that. Team camaraderie, that team mentality, team first mentality, that's what won us Super Bowl 42. That's what won us Super Bowl 46. We went up against two of the best teams fucking ever and fucking beat them with lesser rosters, lesser coaching. We went in there because we were the fucking team, and that's what's most important in this game. And when you have guys in your locker room and guys that you're going to build your franchise around that don't have that team first mentality, you are never going to win anything.
Well, you're dealing with like football, like we're dealing with 80 players on like pretty much a roster between our team and the practice squad guys coming in and out. It's not basketball. Basketball's like 12 guys. You know what I mean? You could like, free agent signings, mix it up, shoot, make baskets, whatever. You're right. Football is totally different, man. You got to have guys that you got to have a good locker room. Otherwise, you can't win. You just can't win the NFL if like you're like messed up. Like, even T.O. when he was like being a bitch and he was on Philly, he went to the Super Bowl. But him and McNabb had a little bit controversy between those two, and of course they couldn't win the big game. That's just what happens.
No, that's a great point with that whole basketball mentality because, I guess the last decade or so, give or take, probably a little longer, that's what you've been seeing. You've been seeing the big three and all these guys, these superstars coming together on one team that could afford to have them all on there, and then a couple of key role players, and these guys are going out and they're in a championship that following season. Look, you can't put three guys in place on a football team and expect to win. There's too many guys on the field. You have 11 on defense, 11 on special teams. You have 11 on offense. Some of them play on both, but not many, right? You need like 25, 30 guys to make a team. 3 or 4 superstars make you good. You're going to win some games. Don't mean you're winning a championship. It's not like that. You can't. That's what I was trying to tell people. Like, it's not like, Deshaun Watson just like shows up one day on a team and he's going to win 10 games. It don't work like that. That dude's going to have the right people around him. You know what I mean? Like, that's what makes a team. Like, you look at Kansas City, because we're going to get into talking about the big game that's coming up on Sunday, of course. But you look at that type of team, they had Alex Smith, the quarterback. They were there. They were contending. I think they even won the AFC West that year. They were right in position. They had Tyreek Hill. They had Kelsey. They had all these guys. And then when you brought in Mahomes to that team, it took him to that next level because he's this young, fiery quarterback that literally was able to now take them to that next level. And he didn't even do it right away. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't go right away. So, it's absurd how people like judge each sport and they try to make them seem like one sport's like the other.
Bro, it's not that. It's because people are stupid. That's all it is.
They forgot. In the hype. They get caught in that clickbait shit. That's what it is. That's what it's all in real life.
That's all it means, because you got to think about it. People are saying, "Oh, you put Deshaun Watson on your team, you're automatically in the playoffs," but they fail to realize not 4 weeks ago, the Texans' record finished the season at 4 wins. Like, what the fuck? Did we already forget that he just went 4-12? Like, 4 weeks ago.
And all of a sudden, that football rating shit, their offensive line killed our offensive line in scores and rating, man. If you look at it, it's absolutely bananas, like what they gave that Texas offensive line as far as numbers and ratings are concerned. You can look that shit up on your own time if you want. But like, literally, it was like their left tackle got an 88, a 74, an 82, a 77, a 70. I think Zeitler was our highest guy with like 74. You know what I mean? But yeah, Watson's gonna come on his team, man. It's gonna be like lightning in a bottle.
All right, I'm gonna throw up. I can't find it, guys. I'm sorry.
So man, like getting into it with the big game. What do you guys think, man? I think
Big game.
what I'm thinking is too is that just because it is the big game, that we are going to have to do a Manscaped player of the Super Bowl, right? It's only fair.
MVP. We're going to tie it to MVP, right?
So either the MVP or a guy that maybe gets overshadowed is definitely got to get the Manscaped. But before we get into that, guys, Valentine's Day is upon us, fellas. Make sure you're ready for wherever the night may take you. Our friends at Manscaped, the global leader in men's below the waist grooming, are here to tell you that you need to use the best tools for the job so you can be ready for anything on that special day. And let me also add a little something to that, all right? I hear some guys giving me a little pushback. Oh, I'm married. I got a couple of kids. I got this. I got that. That doesn't mean you can't take care of yourself, bro. Like what? You're going to just stop like taking a shower? Like go down there, clean that shit up for Valentine's Day and see what your wife ends up doing, all right? Especially if you got a few kids. That means it's been a few years at the least. You probably haven't whacked down there in like fucking 10 years at this point, all right? I go and get that 3.0 mower and get that shit cleaned up and let's see if the wife goes crazy. If she doesn't, give me some blowback here, all right, bro? You let me know if the wife fucking disappointed after
you could even get the wife like a lawnmower for herself. Like I don't know what kind of message that sends for Valentine's Day, saying you got a hairy bush. I'm sick of seeing it. But you could definitely spend that money on there, man. Use that cold bro, get that 20%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, look, you could even, how like you go out and get the chocolates and shit, they come in the heart shape.
Yeah.
Just fucking try to draw a heart on your fucking shit down there. Like I said, it's gonna come out looking like shit, but who cares? And be like, oh, here's my box of chocolate. Like that skit that was on SNL. It's my in a box.
Yo, why does all those fucking chocolates suck, man?
Yo,
you ever notice that the Valentine's Day? Like, just give me a big bag of like Reese's peanut butter cups. Like, I'll be fucking happy. You know what I'm saying?
You go to some of those really good like coffee shops and gourmet type places, and you can get like just a couple like just simple bars of chocolate that'll cost you about the same amount, if not like right or sometimes even less. And that shit is way better. The quality is through the fucking roof, right? And you're better off giving that shit all wrapped up in a box with some flowers. You're good to go. That's it.
That shit's like left over.
And Manscaped your ass.
that shit's left over from my 3 Valentine's Day tool.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
All the ones you find like out there, what do you think? They keep them shit. They're like, oh, that's it. The 2021 Valentine's season's over. All right, we're gonna have to ship these out to like somewhere in Africa or something. I don't know, right? How they always give away like the shit for like the Super Bowl losers. The T-shirts end up in all these different countries and shit.
That didn't even win it. You know what I mean?
Like, what do you think? That's where the chocolate goes? Hell no, man. That shit gets recycled. It's back next year.
Dude, I seen like that, like an African thing. Like they had a bunch of Atlanta Falcons NFL champions, like a whole bunch of teachers.
Up, man.
It never happened, man. They were winning 28.
Great with that shit, dude. Like, you see it all the time. I'm like, what the fuck?
Fucking great, man.
Last year, I think there was a bunch of people running around with San Francisco championship T-shirts all over the place.
Shit. All right, so we got to tie this MVP into the Manscaped player. Your predictions, right?
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to do the predictions. We're gonna go over some of that.
Who wants to go first?
Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff leading up. I mean, there was a lot of hype about the whole OCU and you're reaching out to JPP this week, and giving them the props and saying that, look, man, and listen, it's a great comeback story for JPP. I mean, the guy, he had a tremendous start with us, and then he blew off his hand and did all this crazy shit and came back, had a good season, and then I don't know, things just kind of went down and sour, and he moved out there and he was kind of like looking okay. And then he bounced back a little bit last year. But look, this year he had a fucking outstanding season. He really did, man. Here he is, a game away from winning the Super Bowl again. Hats off to him. But one guy that I kind of give it credit to that I think sort of kind of like, deserves a little credit from the other team is Steve Spagnuolo. All right. Now here we have it, right, guys? I mean, literally his 2 key guys from that defense on opposite ends, but they're in the Super Bowl,
right?
At all wore the blue, right? You know what I mean? And if there's anything I'm leaning towards, is my man Spags, because I loved him when he was on the Giants. But I've never seen after that first one, asking him for one more year and having him stay here and all that good stuff. if I have to make my early predictions,
Tell me.
I'm gonna have to go with KC on this. But we'll get into that a little bit later. We'll get into more of that in a moment.
Man, I like seeing the whole JPP OC interview. I'm not gonna lie, even though I bashed JPP, I'm still gonna bash him. Like, what if he gets another ring? And like, where does he put it on his thumb? You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, listen, I don't know, man. I want Tom Brady to win, but I won't be sad if Kansas City wins. Like, I love Mahomes, man. Like, so like, I just want my numbers hit and win any Super Bowl box I hit, because that's all I really care about, to be honest.
I mean, listen, that, and like there are some actual, like, obviously there's the normal prop bets, right? And that's going to be stuff like the basic stuff where it's like, oh, how long do you think the national anthem is going to go for? Who do you think is going to end up, being the MVP? Is it going to be heads or tails? You have all that kind of stuff that's going to go in, but there are some funny ones, like who's gonna, like, different color hair, if Miley Cyrus is gonna come out with this on like her pre-game show. I don't know, all types of nonsense. But like, there's some of that shit to bet on too, that you can have a little fun with it.
That's great. If you're betting on Miley Cyrus's color of her hair, like, you have a problem. You need to call that number. You need to call that fucking hotline right away. It's crazy.
They don't put them out there for nothing. I think one of them was like, and these are real odds. I think like Tony Romo is like a 110 to 1 type of underdog or some shit like that, if he's actually gonna get a play right.
Oh, no way.
Dude, there was some fucked up ones that are mixed in there. I think there's like some big odds too, where it's like, I think it's like 3 to 1 if LeBron James's name will get mentioned throughout the whole Super Bowl or not. Like they do have some ones. I know they used to do the ones years ago where like sometimes you'd have like an NBA game earlier in the day and it would be like, oh, it's, and obviously rest in peace and just give him a quick shout out. But like, is Kobe going to drop more than what, the Tampa Bay Bucks do? You know what I mean? They do shit like that all the time, man. Like, those are kind of fun. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is that like there is that now sports book over in Jersey, and I already made plans. I'm actually going to head down to AC for the game. So when you were saying, I might, like, I'll phone in. I'll let you guys know. I'll hit you up on some of the text, but like, man, it's gonna be some of those stupid ass bets that with a couple drinks with me, I am definitely betting on. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, if there's like, how many times is Tony Romo gonna fucking pat himself on the back for calling this as being the Super Bowl game? Bro, I think that shit's gotta be at like 5 already.
That's cool, man. I'm not, like, as you guys know, I'm not much of a gambler, but if I was ever to put money on it, I feel like that's what I would rather do. Just
don't start, John. Don't start gambling that.
No. I've tried, and divine intervention, for some reason, it just would never work. I don't know why, but it would never process my bets. And I was like, you know what? That's probably a sign. Just keep your money in the bank. Stack it, not fucking waste it. So
yeah, you want to stay in a nice house, John. You want to live in a cardboard box with a fucking laptop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I want to do that.
It goes that route. Yeah, I used to bet on like the coin toss and shit. Like, hey, heads, fuck it. Like what the fuck am I doing, man?
Okay, it's like betting on red and black on roulette.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah. I mean, I'd rather do that, honestly. Where you going? Where you staying, Jules and Borgata?
Oceans, like one of the new old towns.
Oh, Oceans, yeah, the one. Okay.
I haven't checked it out yet. I mean, I know it's like sort of at the end of the strip there.
The old Rebel.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah,
I couldn't figure out what it was. All right.
That's a good spot, man.
Yeah, that's what I hear. So that should be fun. I'm gonna shoot down probably like early on Saturday just to get down there. You know what I mean? And settle in, check out some of these sports books. Because I'll be honest, with the whole COVID shit and everything else that had taken place, I haven't sat in a sports book in Atlantic City yet. You know what I mean? Just to chill in one of them. Like, listen, I don't know what games are gonna be on. Probably some boring ass NBA games or some shit. But whatever. I'll just go chill and have a beer or something, and put some small action on those games. Just hang out, watch some fucking sports that way, like I'm in Vegas or something. But then when the actual game starts, yeah, man, if they got a board listed with some of these prop bets, oh, hell yeah, fire away. I'll be like, oh, put 10 on this, 10 on that, fuck it. And anything that has to do with Tony Romo, man, I'm definitely fucking bet against that idiot.
How many songs the Weekend plays? It's like,
come on. I think it was like, will the Weekend come out with sunglasses on or not? Like, there's some stupid shit.
Yeah, it's just way too much, man.
Oh my God, yeah, like
proves that America has a real problem.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like they try to like market this Super Bowl thing for every freaking penny it's got. You know what I mean? They try to milk it.
Well, you could bet everything on DraftKings, guys. DraftKings. I put that deposit in there, man. Make some Super Bowl prop bets. Get that money.
Yeah, absolutely. Like they try to like market this Super Bowl thing for every freaking penny it's got. You know what I mean? They try to milk it. Well, you could bet everything on DraftKings. DraftKings. I put that deposit in there, man. Make some Super Bowl prop bets. Get that money. Dude, I might have to, bro. Like, I'm gonna be actually in Jersey, so I can get away with it this
Yeah,
week.
you can do it. Sit in the
And
sports
as a matter
book.
of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think they even have a DraftKings poker room down there. Sports book down there in Atlantic City. I
Oh,
gotta
you
double
gotta.
check which hotel it's at. I don't remember, but I could have sworn I read that somewhere online.
I
I
don't know
gotta double
about
check
that
something,
yet.
or maybe it's off the street. I don't remember. I know they have something down there where like literally like one of them is like DraftKings. So shit, I'll just be in there.
Whatever you do, don't get drunk and start walking around down there off the strip, man. There's a strip club, a very bad strip club there, man. As soon as you walk in, they fucking pat you down. You go through 5 different metal detectors. A metal detector in the champagne room is fucking sad, man. Do not do it, man. You'll never come back the same. I'm telling you right now. I speak from experience.
Why did they bring him in the back and do a different kind of search on you?
It was no, thank God. But Jesus Christ, I mean, yeah, it was a little dirty in there. Let's just say that.
Just a tad. Huh?
Dirty strip club in Atlantic City.
A lot of sand in hidden places. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
It was- yeah,
Well, listen, I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm not expecting much down there. It's just kind of like to get the hell out of New York for a day or two, just to
There you
get there, watch the game, just see some of the new places. I get it. The boardwalk's going to be freezing, so you're not going to go outside. The clubs, all that shit are going to be kind of quiet. I know I expect all that kind of shit, but it's just to do something, get out of there, and fucking experience it a little differently. That's sort of what I'm going for.
That's cool. I'm just staying home with my dog watching the game. Yeah, I got the beers all ready to go already.
Nice.
I can't wait.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's all I'm doing.
Now, listen, like speaking of the betting and getting into things, KC has been stuck pretty much at a -3 with the over being 56.5.
Can't believe that.
Listen, I'm going to tell you the truth. I get it, and I understand what people are saying about Brady and blah, 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 blah. But with all the talk about Deshaun Watson and some of these other quarterbacks, at the end of the day, to me, Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL right now, right? As of today, 2021, going into this Super Bowl, that dude is just nasty. He is. I try to find bad shit because I love hating on people, and I can't. Like, every time I want to try to hate on this dude's game, like, he just does, like, these sick fucking plays. He pulls shit from, like, he throws the ball between his legs and shit. Like, it's fucking nuts, dude. He just pulls off things that, like, I just didn't even see coming. He's not fucking good. He is. He is that fucking good. He is definitely the best quarterback in the NFL, period, stop. He's young. His team is flying high. To me, they're the better team, and I think our boy Spag is gonna have he's gonna have a plan to shut down Brady and company. I'm telling you, I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. It's definitely gonna be close for a while, but I can see Kansas City winning. I would say, I'm gonna say like 30-20.
Well, Tampa Bay getting 3 points. I'll take that all day. I'll take Tampa Bay getting 3 and Tampa Bay on the money line.
Oh boy!
And I'll tell you, I'll probably take the over, man. The way these two teams probably going to go out, I think we're going to see a lot of scoring. And I'll tell you, I'll take Tampa Bay since I have these numbers in a pool I just looked at a few minutes ago.
There we go. That's what it's about.
I'll take Tampa Bay 43 to 34.
43 to 34. Huh?
Yeah, I'm big high scoring game, man.
That would be a wild Super Bowl, bro. 43-34.
And that's 4-3. That's a 4-3. That's the numbers I got. That's where I'm going.
And do you want to share how much that was worth, or like you don't want it just in case like someone from the IRS is listening?
No, I'll tell you. Yeah, $500 box, right? So
all right.
The final's $25,000. So that's kind of what I want. Halftime is $10,000. So like, listen, man.
Listen, you hit that halftime, bro. You just come down to AC and come meet me.
I will do that. I'll probably come down all fucking hammered.
Fuck it. Should have cost you like $1,000. Who cares?
I have my dog drive.
$25,000, just Uber down there.
$25,000, baby. Like, get that. I'll vest that. I'll vest that more in crypto. If you guys aren't in crypto, I know what you guys are doing. Get that Dogecoin, get that Bitcoin, get that XLM.
John, what's your Super Bowl prediction, man? I know you had KC winning the whole thing, so
I know. I feel like the final score is gonna be 34-31. My brain tells me that it's gonna be KC. My heart tells me I want it to be Tampa Bay. Like I said last week, I like when Tom Brady does great things because, like I said last time, it just makes the Super Bowls we won against them look that much better. So I'm all for Tom Brady just going out there and make it 34-14. Fucking Tampa. I don't care. I want to see Tom Brady win. Patrick Mahomes is going to be in the league for a while. Andy Reid's going to be in the league for a while still to go. So they got their opportunities. It would be pretty cool. 7 Super Bowls, man. That's pretty wild.
I was gonna say, like you make it seem like it's fucking Peyton Manning as Carolina and shit, Cam Newton being like, oh, Cam's got a bunch left, right? Look out for this motherfucker, right? Oh, let Peyton win one and he can retire that way. No, fuck that. First of all, Brady's won enough, okay? And you never know, right? Tell Dan Marino that shit, who got there his fucking rookie year and then never went back to the Super Bowl again. So no, you never know, bro. You went there, you got there, you beat some good teams. What, you don't think that AFC is getting even better with the way the Bills played and Baltimore played, and then Pittsburgh is just going to be forgotten about the way Baker Mayfield and the Browns are coming back? Bro, KC's got to win now, all right? There's no guarantee they're going to fucking be back next year. Not the way that AFC looks. Fuck that.
True.
All it takes is an injury or two, man. That's what it is. They have a great team and they're young. They're going to be annoying for the next few years, I would say. But once the full value of Patrick Mahomes' contract really kicks into play, where he's getting the full $50 million a year, whatever ridiculous number he's going to be paid, that's when you're going to see they're going to have to make some tough calls and they're going to have to rely more on, better drafts and stuff like that, and not really be able to supplement the roster as much. I hope that Daniel Jones ends up being like a quarterback like Tom Brady, where he's willing to take a little bit less on the yearly average. That way he could, they could spend the money elsewhere on the team. But anyways, as far as Super Bowl is concerned, I really fucking hope that Tom Brady does win, though. Bringing it back there, it would just be wild, bro. 7 fucking championships.
Listen, how bored that should be, bro. If that's the case, I won't even be able to fucking speak English by the end of the fourth quarter, right?
All right, bro.
I'll be so miserable and fucking bored. I'll be at a craps table or some shit, all right? Just trying to get some energy going.
I'm turning my phone off if Tampa Bay wins. Like, save this for the podcast.
Yeah, seriously, like, dude, oh god, dude. Like, first of all, it's already kind of a boring Super Bowl to me. Like, I feel like it's just like if you take away last year, it's literally a rematch of the previous 2 AFC Championship games with Brady and Mahomes. Like, it's boring, man. Who the fuck wants to?
Come on, no way. This game's gonna
I'm
be
ready to fall asleep right now just talking about
no way.
That's why I had to go down to AC just to bring some fucking excitement to this fucking thing.
Come on, Jules. Tom Brady with a new team. Fuck Bill Belichick. The storyline. Mahomes, the young up and coming next quarterback that's gonna win, like Tom Brady did, like 6 Super Bowls. Like, this is gonna be a great game,
bro.
Man.
If Belichick was the coach of the Bucs right now, they would be going for an undefeated season, all right, with that fucking roster, all right? So stop.
I got a question for you guys.
I kind of agree with you.
They would literally be going for that 19-0 bullshit again.
Imagine he had that squad. Oh my god!
Come on, bro. You put a guy like that on that fucking team, please, dude. Wow. Like, bro, nobody be able to move the ball. They'd be like the fucking Ravens in 2000 again. Like, it'd be fucking.
I know.
Come on, man. Don't slap Belichick like that.
I know. You got a good point. I agree.
That shit's pissing me off a little bit.
I changed my tune. I
want to know what you guys think about this.
Yo, Brady's on a 2-year deal. Do not want to see him lose the way that motherfucker gets about losing. I mean, let's not forget, like, his kryptonite is Eli Manning and Spagnuolo, right? Because that was who the defensive coordinator was on those Super Bowl teams. So, he's got a little bit of an edge there. If he ends up losing, Brady's going to be back. So it's just going to make those fucking games against Tampa this coming 2021 season that much more fun. I don't want to win. If he wins, bro, he's going to be walking around like he has 12-inch cock or something. Like, it's going to be so boring, dude.
Oh, probably does.
He might. Listen, I don't know.
He puts his rings around those things.
Yeah. Yeah. He's trying. That's why he needs another couple, right?
Yeah. Go all the way to the top, piece of shit. Now I hate him again. Now I'm fucking hate Tom Brady.
That's what I was trying to do. Bring out the hate. Fuck that shit. Let Mahomes win that shit. Let that kid miss. Look, either way you look at it, it's just crazy because you're gonna have Mahomes will win his second one as such a young guy, and it's just gonna be like he is that dude that can set that bar. If he loses, it's sort of what John was saying. Oh, he's got so much time left. His career is just beginning, and that team is so good and talented. They'll be back, but will they? and then we got to see one of the most egotistic motherfuckers that ever graced the fucking NFL football field. And there's been a lot. And Tom Brady being like, "Oh, I just want to get bitches." Like, God, this fucking just like shoot, like just give me some drinks right now, and line up some shots, so I can forget about it.
He's the man. He's winning again.
Yeah, I think so too. Who do you guys think that Bill Belichick's going to be rooting for? They've been family for the last 20 years. So obviously they split up, but I don't think that it was some type of like violent, divorce where they hate each other and want the worst for each other. I don't think that that's the case necessarily. I don't know that they're going to be, cheerleader pom-poms, crazy like that. But what do you think that Bill Belichick's doing? Saying, nah, fuck it, I'd rather see him lose. It's enough that he got there. Or do you think he's saying, yo, that's my family right there. I want him to win.
I think maybe Belichick, either one or two things. Either he just doesn't watch the game at all, like he don't give a fuck, or he does watch it and he's looking at Tom Brady. He's like, I would love to waterboard that motherfucker right now.
I think
either way.
I think Belichick's gonna be chilling with me, being like, "Fuck Tom Brady."
Fuck this guy. I made him everything he is.
You know? Like that motherfucker would be half the shit he is without me, motherfucker.
I taught him football. Like now he's his own coach.
That dude was a 6th-round pick. He backed up Drew Bledsoe. I made him into what he is.
Tom Brady's his own offensive coordinator now. You read that shit? Like,
oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Bruce is like, yeah, I just let him run the show now. Like, yeah, because he's fucking Tom Brady. He's fucking seen it all. Like,
well, not only that, but like, coach? What does that say about your offensive coordinator?
That he's got the best job in the world. He's got the best job in the world. That's what it says. You don't have to do shit.
Yeah, but like he ain't getting no coaching jobs anywhere else.
He puts his headphones on. Like, I got my headphones on right now. He was like,
yep, it works. I can hear him. Him talking.
Tom, I think, oh my God, Tom's talking to me again. It just has like a blank page, like in his notebook. They just staring at. Yo, that guy's my idol.
Andy Reid looks at that shit, but that shit is just blank on the one side. It's got like the whole color coordinated shit on the other side, but it doesn't have anything on there. Yeah. It's like, okay, so on TV on Tuesday night, I can watch.
Yeah, he's looking at the old TV guide from like the 1980s. Holy shit.
Oh, man. Oh, listen, guys. I mean, any final comments? Anything going into this?
We got one more thing, and then we'll leave. Right? We gotta see who the Manscaped MVP player is gonna be. We gotta predict that.
Let's do it.
I want to go first. I want to go first. Let me go first. All
right, go ahead, Mike.
Because I know you guys aren't gonna take it. I want Chris Godwin to be my Manscaped MVP player of the Super Bowl. My man is plus 2,500. Right, for the MVP. So every $100 you bet, bang, you get 2,500. Jules, I might send you some cash. Get your Venmo app. I might send you some money to go put a bet in Atlantic City for me for that, man. It might be just throwing my money away, but hey, you never know. Maybe catch a couple of screen passes, but you know what's gonna happen. It's gonna probably be Tom Brady. He's gonna be the MVP. He's gonna suck his dick.
I mean, listen, if Tampa wins, that's who's going to fucking get it. My man Godwin could have like 16 catches for 350 yards and 5 touchdowns.
I know.
Because the 5 touchdowns, 4 of them were through the air. Not even all 5 were through the air. 4 of them was through the air. Tom Brady will still get the fucking MVP.
Yep, there's no doubt.
Well, dude, Tampa could win 13-10, and Tom Brady didn't do shit, and he'll still get the MVP.
I know.
I thought you guys a curveball. I think it's going to be Shaq Barrett.
Oh, Shaq Barrett. Let me see.
Yeah, Kansas City's down. I think both of their starting tackles. So they're going to be running second string out there on both sides. So you're going to have JPP and Shaq Barrett both, basically feasting. So I think Shaq Barrett's going to have himself a game. He's going to get 2.5 sacks, and make himself some money this Sunday.
Well, John, Shaq Barrett is on the list. And his money line is plus 4,000. So that shit ain't gonna happen.
Where's JPP with that?
Wow, JPP, he's gotta be ahead of him. Let's see, JPP. Jason Pierre-Paul. No, he's actually further back. He's plus 5,000. I guess because he's missing a couple of years.
Been trying to tell you.
I'm gonna stick with my original thing and said that I'm gonna go with Kansas City to win, right? Which means that it has to be a Kansas City player that's going to get it. And you know what? Last year, I felt that Williams deserved that MVP over Mahomes. He did. He had a sick game. He had 2 touchdowns. He had that late one. You know, all that shit going on. Mahomes had a couple interceptions. You know, and they gave it to him, right? Because they want him to be the face of the NFL. We all know that, and that's fine. He's great. I said that earlier. I think he's probably the best quarterback in the NFL. Like, you can argue it, but he's the best. With that said, I'm kind of between 2 guys here, right, for this MVP. And the first one that's going to pop into mind, who's I'm going to probably have to say is obviously the pick, is Travis Kelce. I can see this dude just fucking going off. He's been beasting all playoffs long. Like, I can literally see this dude have 12 catches, 140 yards, maybe 2 touchdowns, some kind of beastly fucking out game like that, and get it. Where's my man Kelce at as far as the odds are concerned?
He's plus 800.
All right. Nah, it's a small 8-1, not bad. One other name that's what I was alluded to right now, that was kind of just floating around, but I know they ain't going to give it to him unless the kid just goes bananas and like just has like a couple of huge runs. And I know Tampa's got a great run D, so this shit ain't going to probably happen. But where's CEH?
CEH. He is plus 3,000.
Plus 3,000. See, that's when you throw in like a $20 bet on that.
Right. But that's Clyde Edwards Hilarious, in case anybody wants to know what the initials are standing for.
So hopefully I think he's healthy now. But no, if I'm gonna go with it, because like I said, Mahomes is like fucking what, even money?
He's minus 130.
Oh, you can't even get fucking even money.
Can't even get even money on it. Now you got to pay the big.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
That's why I don't think that's gonna happen, man. Imagine if you throw Tyreek. Tyreek is plus 800, but yeah, even if he has an explosive game, he has that domestic abuse history with his girlfriend. They ain't putting him on stage.
No way. I'm telling you, I like Kelce, man. Kelce's like my strong 8-1's not terrible.
That's not bad.
You know, look, even if you threw $20 on that, it's still 160. Then you just go right over to the craps table and throw that down and see what happens, baby.
And kiss that goodbye.
You know, I win my other 17 prop bets that I'm gonna probably throw down.
You can go with Harrison Butler, the kicker for Kansas City. He's plus 8,000. Man, actually, if he kicks like 10 field goals, he could probably win that. But I don't know. I don't know about that.
But yeah, no, I mean, listen, you know, that's what's fun about it. Like, you know what? I like see those are the little things I like to do, like the stupid coin toss, because it's just over quick. You get it out of the way, and it's a 50-50 shot. You don't even got to know what football is to bet that shit, right? And then, you know, throw in maybe a couple little quick prop bets that are just stupid and funny. And then, you know, you pick like 1 or 2 MVPs, right? And if you hit 1 or 2 of these things, you won money. You're going to end up winning like $100 or something. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy. But hey, you know, if I'm down in AC and I win $100 and all of a sudden if one of the boxes I'm in hits and all of a sudden I'm up some money, shit. Find me at a crash table or a poker table till like fucking 5 in the morning.
I'm definitely gonna Venmo you some fucking cash and put a bet in. Might even have to bet the GOAT. The GOAT is plus 150. Tom Brady, baby. So I'm gonna have to bet that. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know, man. Like I said, I'm hoping that like some of these Atlantic City like sports betting rooms have some funny ass fucking prop bets, because that's the shit that I'll bring back, and I'll make sure that I save the ticket, and like hopefully it'll have like what it says on there, be like, how many times does Tony Romo like fucking like correct themselves under over 4, like, because I will definitely put some action on that shit. I'll hold it up to the screen, so if you watch on YouTube, you can catch it on that shit. You'll definitely see that I did it. Either that or I'll do some pictures and I'll post that shit.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
Guys, any final thoughts before we wrap up before the big Super Bowl weekend?
I just hold my numbers here, man. I want to win some cash, baby. That's all.
I hear that. So what about you, man? Wait. So you didn't tell us where you watching the big game.
I'll be home. My brother's coming over with his wife. I think my friend's coming over, low key. Everyone wants to stay home, so a little bit less. My girl likes to throw parties like crazy, so she usually goes OD on like all kinds of spreads and all kinds of shit. So it's gonna be a little bit less this year. So if on your way down to AC, if you guys want to swing by, I'm right off the Parkway. So
exit.
Take 123 up Route 9 or 105 up 18. Either way, you'll go right to
John. Jules will not leave your house for days.
That's fine.
Yo, if I get someone else to drive, I'll come over after the game. You better have Monday and Tuesday off.
Better have the whole week off.
I mean, it's the first time we're all doing the podcast live together, except for Mike. It'll be me and you in the same room.
John, you're gonna be like, Jules, where you calling from? I'm inside the house.
Good. Old Nev Campbell scream action.
I'm staring at this Giants picture that you got hanging up in the back over here.
Yeah, I'm my Giants office. I got more shit. I got a Saquon Barkley shit sign up there.
I'll be like, yeah, I'm staring at the Saquon Barkley sign.
It's behind you. So if you guys see me looking up, I have a TV screen behind my laptop that I have you on. That's why, Jules, when you're talking, you got the white background behind you. You blind me every time.
That don't count like the post to get back on YouTube. I got to throw up the banners in the back again, bro. Get that fucking pride.
Yeah, I like
Mike always has
like I don't know how to do that shit.
Oh, listen, I don't know how the hell Mike does that shit all the time. He's got like different fucking crowds and shit in the background. I'm surprised he doesn't have like Tom Brady staring at us right now.
Man, sometimes it's just too much.
For the listeners, if you want to throw out another show, watch Brickleberry. It's on Hulu. It's Daniel Tosh's show. It's a cartoon. It's fucking hysterical.
All right,
I gotta keep that in mind.
You want to watch this weekend if we get some more snow and shit and get stuck inside.
I heard that I think we're supposed to get another snowstorm next week.
Yeah, I read that somewhere too, like towards the end of the week or something, right?
Dude, this is another, like, it snowed after I shoveled all day today. Now I gotta go back outside after this. It's like fucking 10 o'clock at night. I gotta go fucking shovel my driveway again. I should have paid that little kid to come back. Or that little fucking man. Fucking,
yeah, that's what I did.
He should have just shoveled my driveway. God damn.
I fucking spent an hour and change outside yesterday snowblowing. Yeah, well, and then they fucking
that dude come in your house, Mike. He'd be doing the podcast with us right now. We don't know where you'd be. He'd be like tied up in the back somewhere.
I know. He's like, I'm Mike Trader now.
Yeah. Like, oh, hey, all right. You look a little different, but okay, cool, man.
What? Maybe I'll just light my driveway on fire. That melts snow, right? I mean, make it easier on myself.
Kerosene out there, you'll be fine.
Bro, do you ever see those videos online? You can buy a garden flamethrower from Home Depot. So if it snows a little bit lighter, you could just use a flamethrower, just get your whole driveway done without even having a shovel. Great idea.
You gotta look into that shit.
I don't.
People back in the day when I was a kid, it's like $40, and it's an actual flamethrower. It's supposed to clear out brush and stuff like that for if you're like property. But that fire's fucking fire.
Brush. It's all the same shit.
I don't trust myself with a fucking flamethrower. A $40 flamethrower, man. What do you get? A Nerf flamethrower? You fucking put Nerf out there?
Dude, you can't get like a hose for $40. Fucking flamethrower.
There's got to be a that video about this.
$40. Like a super soaker is like fucking still like $20-$30. Like, come on now.
You go down to Hunts Point for $40, they tell you to get lost.
Yeah.
You can buy rims down there for $40. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, I think that kind of wraps us up for this weekend here. Listen, be safe. Enjoy the Super Bowl weekend. All right. It should be fun, even though I keep saying it's going to be a boring ass game, but it's going to be whatever. It'll be good. It'll be exciting. Two really good teams going at it. Make sure you check us out. You know where to find us. Giants Brawl on Twitter. You can find John J. Depot at the MYG Slap Parade, Mike Trainer at Mike Trainer MFT, Jules at Jules NYC. You can also find us on Facebook. The page is blowing up, man. Go check it out. We post all types of stuff all week long, all different articles, all different shit, commenting all the time. Facebook page is on fire, Instagram as well. And you can always shoot us an email at giantsbrawl@AOL. We're out this week. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Talk to you next week.
Peace.